In today's video, I'll be playing Morrowind for the first time. I'm playing on the Xbox version on my Xbox Series S, which is why the screen looks like this. I've only ever played Skyrim. I've never played any other Elder Scrolls game, so this is going to be an entirely new experience for me. Let's see if Morrowind holds up and what adventures I get up to. I don't know much about the game, so I'll definitely be making mistakes. If you have any tips, drop them in the comments. I'll be taking on quests for the Fighters Guild, tackling some main story missions, and my favorite part of the game so far, exploring the open world. What's your favorite Elder Scrolls game, and why? Let me know in the comments. Along the way, I'll share my thoughts on what's happening. If you guys do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. I started by waking up and getting off the ship. First, I had to choose my race. I wasn't sure about the attributes, and honestly, I didn't like the Imperial hairstyles. But when I saw that playing as a Nord could make me look like Geralt of Rivia, the choice was obvious. But more like Geralt of Rivia from the Hexer movie. After choosing my race, I had to pick a class. I went with Warrior. Next time, I'll probably make a custom class, but for now, I wanted to keep it simple. I also picked the Warrior sign. After checking my character sheet, I was ready to go. I picked up a knife and warmed my blade on a candle. This was going to be fun. Then I found a magic ring. I could now use magic. One thing I noticed right away, there's not much voice acting. There's a little in the intro and maybe there's more in the main campaign. No big deal, I played Pentiment and I don't mind reading in games. Honestly, we have it easy now. Most games are fully voice acted, so I get why some people wouldn't want to play a game without it. I made sure to read carefully since Morrowind has no map markers and it's infamous for that. I already know that's going to be the hardest part for me, but I'll see for myself. I needed to get to Balmora. I saw a tower nearby, perfect for scouting. Inside, I met an elf and picked up a side mission. I also found a book with 300 septums. It even managed to increase my unarmed skill. I climbed to the top, but I couldn't see much. It was foggy as hell. I did spot a mud crab though, ran down, used some magic, and finished it off with my dagger. Collected some plants too. Every time I start a game with alchemy, I tell myself I'll use it, but I never do. Eventually, I found some signposts pointing to Balmora. Luckily, I was able to catch a lift there. Once I arrived, I wasn't sure where to go, so I checked out a store, sold something, then went to another store. There was a lot of stuff on the shelves. Seemed like the perfect time to test out Morrowind's crime system. If it worked like Skyrim, stealing might land me in jail. I quick saved and tried to steal some things. It was pretty easy actually. I got greedy and took everything I could. Then I equipped my new gear, took off my shirt, and walked through town, the fearless slayer of a single mud crab. Feeling pretty great, I did some more stealing before heading to the Fighters Guild. I swore the oath and got my first task, kill some rats. I have to start somewhere. I got a decent spear from the Fighters Guild too. After running around a bit, I finally found the house. First rat was in the bedroom. The combat felt weird. I wasn't even sure if I was hitting it, but eventually I managed to kill it. Took some damage, so chugged a few health potions and went upstairs. That's when things got ugly. Two rats absolutely destroyed me. Time to rethink my strategy. Round 2. Bedroom rats, no problem. But the two upstairs, they tore me apart again and again. Yeah, I died a few times, yeah, sad to admit. I tried using magic, it helped a bit. In the end, I had to play dirty, hit and run tactics, running through the door and chugging potions. And finally, I did it. Those were some seriously tough rats. My reward? 100 septums. Not too shabby. After that, I finally found the place for my main quest. Met a funny looking guy who gave me more directions. Honestly, as a kid, I would have gotten hopelessly lost. Following the directions, I reached the old man I needed to speak with. First impressions, this dude clearly had a drug problem. I even found his missing shirt. Turns out this old man was built as hell. Anyways, I handed over the documents and officially became a member of the Blades, working under him. He gave me some pocket money and told me to go take on some freelance jobs. He also said I could sleep in his bed, but I didn't want to risk catching a disease, or worse. Before heading out, I also had to check in with someone at the Fighters Guild for the old man, as well as tell them I dealt with the rats. I knew my way now. When I got to the Fighters Guild, I got my next mission and even moved up a rank. Progress. I also talked to the guy I needed to meet for the main quest, but of course, he needed a favor first. Classic RPG move. My task, retrieve a cube from a Dwemer ruin. Sounded hard, probably was hard. I decided to stick to side activities, just for now. Or so I thought. First, I got myself a nice claymore. Took me a while to actually find the shop, but when I did, I also picked up some leather armor. Now I looked sick. Time to head out. Sadly, I immediately got lost. Along the way, I killed a few leeches, weird bug things, and other pests. The claymore? Way better than that cuck spear. Most of these little creatures were one-shots now. Pushing on, I ran into a wizard on a bridge. He summoned a skeleton. Tough fight, but thankfully I had health potions. Right after that though, two flying dinosaur looking things attacked me. I dealt with them. After that, I looted everything. Then, completely by accident, I stumbled onto the Dwemer ruin. Well, so much for avoiding the main quest. I flipped on switch and headed in. Honestly, the place was pretty cool. I wandered down a bit and was instantly attacked by two guys. Easy fight. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. Combat in this game is interesting. Sometimes my attacks just don't hit. I'm sure it works off of some kind of dice roll, like Dragon Age Origins, but at least that game tells you when you miss. Yeah, you swing and hope. The blood effect can tell you when you hit an enemy, and also the yellow health bar, which I didn't notice for a very long time. Anyway, I worked my way through the run, fighting enemies, dying in lava, dying to enemies, dying to traps. Classic dungeon crawling experience. At least I looted a ton of cool stuff. I had big plans of making money off all these Dwemer goblets. Some enemies were tough, but my strategy was simple: run through a door, rest a few hours, come back fully healed, and finish them off. It took me way longer than I'd like to admit to find the cube. I think it took me more than an hour. It wasn't even well hidden, but somehow I couldn't find the right spot. In the end, though, I really enjoyed exploring the ruin. Looting and hoarding treasure was great, but getting lost, not so much. The combat, probably the weakest part of the game so far. I don't hate it, but it's not great. Back in town, I sold all my junk, made a decent amount of money, handed in the cube, got more info, and reported back to the spy master. With all that out of the way, it was time for some more adventuring. Out in the wild, I was attacked by some weird snake, frog, dinosaur looking things. Not gonna lie, I actually love the enemy designs in this game. The creatures are really cool to look at. In the distance, I spotted a castle. One thing I really enjoy about this game is its exploration. It's just fun to wander. I checked out the shops, explored the area, and of course, did some stealing. I even tried stealing right in front of the shopkeeper, just to test my luck. That didn't go so well. After that, I bought some more armor and headed back out into the world. On my way, I found this cool mining area and decided to check it out. Inside, I ran into three goons. Time to use my tried and true strategy: hit, run away, heal, repeat. It worked, mostly. I managed to take one down, but by the time I came back, the body had disappeared. That's what I get for being a damn coward. I lost some nice loot. I managed to kill the other two pretty easily. The area had some solid loot. There was even a small swimming section. I was sure there'd be a hidden passage down there, but nope. Guess I was overthinking it. One thing I really like about this game is how it can be super chill at times. The soundtrack is great too. Eventually, I stumbled into another dungeon. The first enemy near the entrance absolutely wrecked me, over and over. I had to run, heal, and keep trying until I finally beat her. And that was only because I burned through every single healing potion I had. Even my usual cowardly tactic barely worked. For the next guy, I thought I'd be smart and summon a skeleton. Sadly, my skeleton was useless and I got killed. Tried again, had to run away. But hey, I finally hit level 2. Took forever, but I put my points into strength, endurance, and speed. After that, I went back in and took the guy down much faster. Then I decided to go for a swim. Bad idea. Some evil fish thing started bullying me. I struggled to get out of the water as well while it kept chomping at my ankles. Eventually, I got my revenge. From the safety of land, of course. And I did a little victory dance. There were two more goons ahead. I lured them closer to the entrance to save myself from running every time. Classic strategy. One of them put up a tough fight, but eventually I won. Did some looting, freed some slaves, tried talking to them, but they didn't really have much to say. Then I saw him, a powerful mage, or at least I think he was a mage. All I know is he shot a fireball at me and scared the hell out of me. He also summoned something. I didn't stick around to find out what it was. I bolted. I jumped over the slaves, hoping they would help me out with this dude. They didn't, so naturally I used them as meat shields. The mage got through, but at least it stopped his summon. After that, taking him down was surprisingly easy. Unfortunately, I annoyed one of the slaves in the process, and he turned hostile. I had no choice but to take him out. I did some more looting, found a key, and properly freed the rest of the slaves. Talked to each one of them, but they didn't seem too eager to leave either. Oh well, their problem now. And with that, I left the cave, no idea what my next adventure would be, but I'm looking forward to it though. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this. The combat is rough, really rough. It's old, so it's understandable, but the exploration and looting were top tier. I still have a lot to learn. Anyway, that's that for this video. If this video gets about 50 likes, let's say, I'll do part 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.